Bezalel and Oholiab, builders of the tabernacle. The call. A long time ago, in the hot and dusty desert, the Israelites were on a big journey. They had left Egypt, where they were slaves, and were heading to a special land that God had promised them. It was a tough journey, but God was with them every step of the way. He showed them where to go with a pillar of cloud during the day and a pillar of fire at night. One day, God called their leader, Moses, up to Mount Sinai. There, God gave Moses special instructions for building a beautiful place called the Tabernacle. The Tabernacle would be a holy tent where God could live among his people. God wanted it to be very special, with beautiful furniture and decorations. God told Moses, "I have chosen two special people to lead the building of the tabernacle. Their names are Bezalel and Oholiab." Bezalel, the master craftsman Bezalel, was a talented craftsman. He lived among the Israelites and was known for his amazing skills in making things with his hands. He could work with gold, silver, bronze, wood, and even stones. When God spoke to Moses about Bezalel, he said, "I have filled him with the Spirit of God, giving him wisdom, understanding, and knowledge in all kinds of crafts." Bezalel had always loved creating things. From a young age, he would collect stones and wood to carve and shape into beautiful objects. His father, Uri, and grandfather, Hur, were very proud of him. They saw his gift and encouraged him to use it for good. One evening, as Bezalel was working on a new piece of jewelry, Moses came to visit him. "Bezalel," Moses said, "God has chosen you for a very special task. He wants you to lead the building of the tabernacle. You will create the Ark of the Covenant, the table, the lampstand, and all the other beautiful items." Bezalel's eyes widened in surprise and honor. "Me? God chose me?" he asked. "Yes," Moses replied with a smile, "and he has also chosen someone to help you. His name is Oholiab. Oholiab, the skilled helper." Oholiab was from the tribe of Dan, and he was also very talented. He could weave and sew, making beautiful fabrics and garments. He was an excellent designer, and his works were admired by everyone in the camp. When Bezalel heard about Oholiab, he was excited to meet him. The next day, Moses introduced Bezalel and Oholiab to each other. They quickly became friends, sharing their ideas and dreams for the tabernacle. Oholiab said, "God has given us a great honor. We must do our best to create something beautiful for him." Together, they started planning and gathering materials. The Israelites brought them gold, silver, bronze, fine linen, and other precious items. Everyone wanted to contribute to the tabernacle. Some people donated their jewelry, while others brought colorful fabrics and threads. Building the Ark of the Covenant. The first and most important item Bezalel and Oholiab needed to build was the Ark of the Covenant. The Ark was a special box that would hold the stone tablets of the 10 Commandments, which God had given to Moses. It would be placed in the most holy place inside the tabernacle. Bezalel carefully selected the best wood and overlaid it with pure gold. He crafted the ark with great skill, making it perfect in every detail. Oholiab helped by weaving a beautiful cover for the ark called the mercy seat, which was also covered in gold. On top of the mercy seat, Bezalel created 2 golden cherubim, angels with their wings spread out, facing each other. When the ark was finished, it gleamed in the sunlight. Everyone who saw it was amazed by its beauty and craftsmanship. Moses said, "This will be the place where God's presence will dwell. You have done a wonderful job, Bezalel and Oholiab." The table and the lampstand. Next, Bezalel and Oholiab turned their attention to the other important items for the tabernacle. They built a special table called the Table of Showbread. This table would hold 12 loaves of bread, representing the 12 tribes of Israel. Bezalel used acacia wood and overlaid it with gold, adding intricate designs to make it beautiful. Then they worked on the lampstand, also known as the menorah. It was made of pure gold and had 7 branches, each holding a lamp. Bezalel carefully crafted the branches to look like almond flowers with buds and blossoms. When the lamps were lit, they would provide light inside the tabernacle. Oholiab wove curtains and coverings for the tabernacle, using blue, purple, and scarlet yarn and fine linen. He also made the priestly garments, including the ephod and breastpiece for the high priest. These garments were adorned with precious stones and golden threads, making them stunning to behold. The bronze altar and the laver. With the help of other skilled workers, Bezalel and Oholiab built the bronze altar and the laver. The bronze altar was used for burnt offerings, and it was made of acacia wood covered with bronze. Bezalel made sure it was strong and durable, able to withstand the heat of the sacrifices. The laver was a large basin made of bronze, placed between the tabernacle and the altar. It was filled with water for the priests to wash their hands and feet before entering the tabernacle. This act symbolized purity and cleanliness before approaching God. As they worked, Bezalel and Oholiab taught other craftsmen, sharing their knowledge and skills. They worked tirelessly, day and night, to complete the tabernacle. Their hearts were filled with joy, knowing they were creating something special for God. The tabernacle is complete. Finally, after many months of hard work, the tabernacle was complete. It was a magnificent sight, shining with gold, silver, and colorful fabrics. The Israelites gathered around to see the finished work, and they were filled with awe and wonder. Moses inspected everything and found it to be exactly as God had commanded. He blessed Bezalel, Oholiab, and all the craftsmen for their dedication and skill. "You have done a wonderful job," he said. "This tabernacle will be a place where we can worship God and feel His presence among us." On the day of the tabernacle's dedication, a cloud covered it, and the glory of the Lord filled the tent. The Israelites knew that God was with them, and they praised Him with all their hearts. A legacy of faith. Bezalel and Oholiab's work on the tabernacle was remembered for generations. Their story was told and retold, reminding people of the importance of using their gifts for God's glory. They had built more than just a beautiful tent. They had created a place where people could meet with God and experience His love and presence. Their legacy lived on, inspiring others to use their talents to serve God. They showed that no matter what gifts or skills a person has, they can be used to do something great for God. Bezalel and Oholiab's story is a reminder that God gives each of us special talents, and when we use them for His glory, amazing things can happen. Remembering the builders. Years later, as the Israelites settled into the Promised Land and built a permanent temple, they still remembered the tabernacle and the 2 men who had crafted it with such care and devotion. The story of Bezalel and Oholiab was shared with children, teaching them about faithfulness, craftsmanship, and the joy of serving God. Parents would tell their children, "Bezalel and Oholiab listened to God's call and used their gifts to build something beautiful. You too have gifts, and you can use them to honor God in your own way." And so, the story of Bezalel and Oholiab continued to inspire and encourage, showing that with God's help, anyone can do great things. They had built the tabernacle, but more importantly, they had built a lasting legacy of faith and service to God. This is the story of Bezalel and Oholiab, 2 talented craftsmen who answered God's call and built the tabernacle. Their dedication and skill remind us that no matter how small or big our gifts are, we can use them to honor God and make a difference in the world.